Hey, how you doing? This is Craig Beck, the Stop Drinking expert. I'm back from Nashville, Tennessee. What an amazing quit drinking boot camp that was. Met some fantastic people who have made a huge commitment to this positive change in their life. I'm so thrilled to see the feedback and the posts on Facebook and on Trustpilot and things like that. So if you came to Nashville, thank you. It was awesome to meet you. Next up is Toronto, Canada. Then we got Sydney, Australia, and then it's London, England, and I'm thinking to go back to the States maybe later on in the year. Where should I go? New York, Chicago, Denver? These are all options. But if you're thinking about coming to boot camp, book it now. These things always sell out, all right? Don't forget, if you're a member of my online program, you get a 40% discount on bootcamp tickets. Go to the members area and find the code and it will knock 40% off your ticket price, all right? So today I want to talk about this subject because it's strange. You know, you can go months and not get anyone ask about this, and then in 1 week you can get a dozen people ask the same question, and that's just happened. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I guess that's just the way the universe works. There's a part of my online course where you get kind of halfway through it, where I ask you what your goal is. And that might seem like a bit of a strange question because you've joined a stop drinking program, so surely the goal is obvious. But it's dangerous to assume, because I hope that everyone who's going through the course gets to that point in the course and they go, that's it, I don't want this attractively packaged poison in my life anymore. I'm done with it. I don't want this evil narcissistic drug in my life anymore. And about 95% of people are in exactly that place. But every now and again, somebody says, yeah, but. And that's always a huge red flag because I know something crazy is coming after it. Yeah, I've heard what you say, Craig, but, and the examples that I've been given in the last week are, yeah, but if I stop drinking, I won't be able to get to sleep at night. Yeah, but, you know, can I not just have one to socialize? I'm not sure that I do want to quit drinking. I'm just thinking maybe to moderate my drinking. What's the problem with that? Surely that's better than where I am now. If you go through my course or you come to boot camp and you get halfway through and you have any sort of thought like that, it simply means you have not addressed all of your erroneous programming around this drug. You still believe some of the lies. There is not a single benefit to drinking alcohol, not one. So let's use sleep as an example, because a guy emailed me last week and he said, look, hey, I want to quit drinking, but if I quit drinking, I won't be able to sleep at night. Well, the first thing is, alcohol does not facilitate good sleep. Because if that was true, then all problem drinkers would be walking around in the morning fresh as a daisy, wouldn't they? They'd walk through the office like without a care in the world, and everyone would point at them and go, oh, problem drinker. That doesn't happen. Alcohol knocks you out because it's an anesthetic, sure, but do you stay asleep? No. Isn't it true that a couple of hours after you fall asleep, you wake up with your heart pounding in your chest, a crazy banging headache, a horrible taste in your mouth, dehydrated, feeling terrible, and you drag yourself to the toilet. You have a drink of water and you come back to bed, and then you spend the rest of the night tossing and turning and having very poor quality sleep. Even if you are unconscious, the quality of your sleep is exceptionally poor. All that restoration that needs to happen while you're resting, while you're sleeping, is not going on because your brain can't function properly because it's got a poison in it. So you wake up in the morning, even as though you've been in bed for like 10 hours, and you feel exhausted. So if you're using the justification that you can't sleep if you don't drink, that's the first thing you need to be aware of. Now, the second thing you need to be aware of is that doctors never prescribe alcohol for sleep problems. Never. Why? because it doesn't make any sense. You know, if you went to the doctor and said, "Doctor, I can't sleep at night, just can't get to sleep." And he said to you, "Okay, well, I've got a solution for you. There's this brand new medication that's come out, and it will put you to sleep. But it will probably give you cancer." Would you take the medicine? Almost certainly not. Why? Because your programming, your thoughts, your beliefs are not tainted by the marketing, by the social proof, by the years of nonsense that you've been exposed to. You're approaching this drug with fresh, clean eyes, and you're taking the data, you're taking the facts as it's being given to you. It will help you get to sleep, but it'll probably give you cancer. It's pretty easy for you to look at that and say, all right, the negatives dramatically outweigh any benefit that that's going to give me. I don't want it in my body. The same is true of alcohol. Yeah, okay, carry on taking it to get to sleep, but then you've got to accept the flip side, which is it's probably going to give you cancer. It's certainly going to destroy your health. It's probably going to ruin your relationships. It's going to cost you financially. It's going to cost you in your career. It's going to cost you in every area of your life that you care about. Is that enough justification to get to sleep at night? No! There is not one single benefit to drinking alcohol. So, if you can't sleep at night without alcohol, then here's what you need to do. You need to stop drinking poison, and you need to find another alternative. Now, a lot of the times we come up with justifications and reason for our drinking purely because that's good enough. You know, we may have a reason why we drink, but we've never actually explored any other avenue. We've never looked into anything else because we like having that excuse. Well, I drink because I can't sleep at night. I have to drink. That's great. That gives us a reason to defend against that nagging doubt in our head that we're drinking poison every day. So if you struggle to sleep at night, and I empathize with that because insomnia is crazy bad for me sometimes because I've got a ridiculously overactive mind, and I find it very hard to slow my thoughts down. But I don't use alcohol. I find other ways. And there are other ways out there. There are other, more healthy ways to establish a natural sleep pattern. And alcohol is never the option. Nobody of any status in the medical industry will ever prescribe alcohol or suggest you use alcohol as a remedy for sleep problems. Now, you know, when it comes to, you know, can I just go back to having social drinks? You know, can I just to be social at a party? If you ever have a thought like that, all I want you to do, this is a really simple way to get your thinking straight on this. Change the drug. Change the drug. Because it's only because of this bubble of unreality that we live in around alcohol where that's even a consideration. Let's role play it, okay? So imagine I come up to you and I say, well, listen, I had a really bad heroin addiction, nearly destroyed me, nearly killed me, nearly wiped out my family, caused huge problems, and I've been off the heroin for 12 months now. But I'm thinking about just having a little bit of heroin just to be social. Would you say, well, that sounds perfectly fine, Craig. I can't see what can go wrong. Or would you grab me and say, you idiot? Even, you know, glue sniffing. Let's say I used to glue sniff a lot. You know, I just couldn't help myself. It was my way of relaxing. I would get some solvents and I would sniff them until I passed out. I gave it up a year ago. But I'm thinking about doing it again on Tuesdays. What do you think? Would you say, that's a great idea, Craig? Or would you say, don't be ridiculous? It's only because we live in this strange alternate universe around this drug, a drug that we don't even like to call a drug, where this is even a conversation. There is no benefit in drinking poison in moderation. The very premise of that is insane. And look, I know I don't like to rant. And I get where this is coming from because my own father's answer to everything is moderation, everything in moderation, son. When I tell my dad that this is what I do, I go around the world and I help people to stop drinking. He goes, well, why? Everything in moderation. Everyone should live by that. That's the secret. They don't need to pay you, son. They don't need to come to your seminars. They don't need to join your own program. Everything in moderation. It sounds good, doesn't it? It sounds laudable. But no, not everything in moderation. That doesn't apply to everything. Not murder in moderation. Not adultery in moderation. Not drinking poison in moderation. It sounds laudable, but it doesn't fit everything. And the assumption is, in that statement, when applied to alcohol, that a little bit of alcohol is good for you. Or at the very least, a little bit of alcohol won't do you any harm. A little bit of bleach won't kill you. Doesn't mean it's good for you. And so, if you're at the point in this process where you've watched enough of my videos, you've done enough of my course, you've been to boot camp, and you're still thinking, maybe I can just have one to be social or to help me get to sleep. Here's what I say you have to do. You need to go right back to the start of the process. You need to start the course again and you need to go through it again. Because if you watch my online course once, you will absorb about 20% of it. You'll remember 20% of it. You do it 5 times, maybe you'll remember 40%. You need to keep absorbing this material until it all sinks in. And if all you're doing at the moment is reading books or just watching YouTube videos, then you need to do more. Because if you're currently thinking like that, it just tells me that your programming is still out of line. So if you're just watching YouTube videos, then start the course or come to boot camp. Or start reading books there's loads of great books out there. Annie Grace, This Naked Mind. You've got William Porter, Alcohol Explained. You've got Jason Vale. Fantastic content for you to fill your head with all this amazing information, the truth about alcohol. So I hope that helps. Sorry to bounce around and be so excited about it. Very un-British of me, I know. But I'm kind of passionate about this because I meet all these amazing people when I travel around the world and I just want to shake this nasty, horrible drug out of them so that they can be the amazing, sober individual that I know they have the potential to be. So listen, I hope I see you at boot camp. Book it today. At the very least, join me for a free webinar. Go to the website, stopdrinkingexpert.com. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you very, very soon.